Fat Podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawaski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawaski. We are live on the YouTubes, as always.
Yeah.
Now, that's just kind of the way we do things nowadays. So, hey, if you need to feel better about yourself in the moment, just pull up this live feed. Look at our faces, and you'll feel better about your own.
Are you having a rough morning? Head over to youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. And all your self-esteem issues will be fixed.
We are your self-esteem fluffer.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of fluffer, let me tell you about we have another traitor to the cause that we are both familiar with. So remind me to hit that up later.
Okay.
A mutual friend of ours, I saw that I was like, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Do us a favor. Follow us on all of our socials at I'm Fat Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We've got the I'm Fat Podcast fans page. On Facebook, we've got our merch, I'mFatMerch.com, powered by TeePublic. Jump over there, get some stuff. Some new designs up there. Have been up for a couple weeks, but really good stuff from our buddy Mark Fishman from Unshaven Comics. He makes all of our merch, so thanks to him. We've got a Patreon, but just ignore that for now until I figure it out. And the YouTube page, which I already mentioned, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. Rick, it appears that we have crossed some sort of threshold on YouTube. So,
Okay.
we might make money. I don't know.
Nice.
We'll see. If an ad pops up during the show, let us know in the chat. That'd be really, that'd be nice to know.
Right.
But our shorts
And
are
why
doing
is it
well.
for Ozempic?
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be, you want to talk about targeted marketing?
Yeah, right.
So thanks for watching all of our shorts and our, reels and TikToks. When you see those, do us a favor and always like them, and feel free to share them if you'd like. But those little things help too in generating interest in the show. So do that. And if you're watching us live, thank you. Hit that like button on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube page as well. Hi, Rick.
Hi. Speaking of the targeted ads,
Yes.
I had 2 in a row. Like, I'm just scrolling Instagram at night, going through people's stories and whatever. Here are consecutive ads that I got. Now, this one is only off because of my age, but not that far off. It says, big men over 40, lazy yoga workout 2025. We start January 6th, lose belly fat, balance hormones, increased energy. In 1 week, you'll feel it. In 2 weeks, you'll see it. By the end of January, you'll have a toned body. Shenanigans on that. But so that's the first one. So that's the first thing I see. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
I've seen that one
happen.
no less than 600 times. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. So then here's one for a different app. We are looking for men over 200 pounds with the water emoji who want to lose 30 pounds with our workout challenge. Learn more.
That sounds like bad targeting. Actually, it's twice asking you to work out.
Well, that's the balance. It's asking me to work out, but it's also like, you seem fat. Here's our thing for fat people.
Our invasive cameras have measured your face, and it seems to be disproportionate to most people.
Yes, exactly. We've tried to measure your face, but it goes out of our range.
Yes. I love scrolling Instagram at night. It's like boobs, wrestling, boobs, Grateful Dead, boobs, hockey, boobs, wrestling.
TikTok too. Actually, I can show you a Christmas present I got because my new notebook that I'm using for notes for the show is the guy that Sam found merch for, the guy that shows how dumb the English language is.
Oh, yeah.
This is my new notebook.
I love that.
No.
That's so dumb.
I love that guy so much.
I believe, by the way, at I'mFatMerch.com, you can get a notebook with our logo on it if such things interest you.
Oh.
I think that's one of the things. To the merch site. I swear that's one of the things you can get. I don't really set it that way because I'm like, who wants this?
Possible.
There's a mug.
Okay. The mug?
The mug? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. All right, fine. Maybe I lied. I'll go back and check. And if it's there, I'll turn it on.
You bastard.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm fatmerch.com. Go find it yourself. All right, where do you want to start today, buddy?
So Sam and I had a good we went on like an actual date to the city last weekend.
Yeah.
And partially because we had a metric F ton of Let Us Entertain You gift cards that we both have accumulated over the years.
Beautiful. That's the best.
Yeah, that's my one lasting thing I have from my time at Odyssey is still a $75 Let Us Entertain You gift card that we got at some point. I don't know.
Thanks for doing Sports Talk Live in 2008. Here's a coupon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I always imagine whatever the places were that like I was never on Sports Talk Live, so I don't know like what the scope of the gift cards were, but that there'd be like a night where people who are on it are just like, should we all just like get together and like burn these all at once?
It was a good place. It was Lou's.
Oh, nice.
Because David
Cap.
Kaplan's wife is like a higher up at Lou's.
That makes sense.
I think she's Louise Malnati. That's not true. I'm making that up, but she is or was a higher up at Lou's. So that I was always like, I can't go on Sports Talk Live and I get $50 Lou Malnati's. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll put on makeup for that. I'll do it for much less these days.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. So for dinner, we decided to go over to Hubbard Street, 59 West Hubbard, to Il Porcellino. Just like old school Italian feel. And the food did not disappoint in that regard. Like when the bread that you get is like as
Nope, that's not it.
Nope. That's
There we
my
go.
Yeah, there we go. That bread is just insane. Like they bring it to the table and then they like drizzle the oil on top of it in front of you. Like, oh, dude. Like the bottom had a little bit of crunch to it, so it actually held form, but it was so soft in the middle.
And that's warm, obviously, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like when that was what we started with after like we got there a little early for our reservation, so we just got a couple drinks and the drinks were very good. It was we were like, okay, this is going to be awesome. And then just like looking at the menu, it's pretty much like everything. If you're thinking like Italian, this is like everything down the line. It's what is like what you would expect. And I guess their specialty is like burrata lasagna.
Oh God, yeah.
So, but man, the gnocchi bolognese piqued my interest.
That's the other picture, I assume?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
That is that. And it was, for one thing, big portion. Like they tell you with these, like for some of these, especially under like the entrees or whatever, like you could split this depending on how hungry each of you are. And we were like, okay, that's adorable.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And we each got our own thing. Also, if I had to share with her, I couldn't get anything with meat sauce. So not so much. But yeah, that was like just the consistency. Cause like I feel like one of the things when you have like bad gnocchi is like the consistency can be a little weird.
Yeah.
This was like spot on of just like light, but still like enough to it. And the flavor in that bolognese was like incredible. Like Sam is one where she doesn't eat meat, but she'll eat things that are like been in like a meat sauce. So she wanted to try the gnocchi.
Meat adjacent.
Meat adjacent. And she would just like looked up like that is so flavorful.
Yeah.
That it
that's
was
what meat does, Sam.
good.
That's the function of meat is to give things flavor and enjoyment.
Right. Exactly. So for one thing, it was like, yes, this is what meat does. For another thing though, man, it was very, very good.
All right. So again, give the name of the joint there. Il Porcellino. 59 West Hubbard. And do you have the other picture of the
the donuts or the
I
thing
do.
like donuts. That was also there though, as well.
I did not
So-
fail to rotate the photo this morning.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry. The edible I took before bed last night was a little too powerful.
It doesn't matter.
I'm still shaking it off.
You're acting like the orientation of a plate would stop anyone listening to this podcast from eating anything on a plate.
Fair enough.
So these were like the freshly fried brioche donuts. They've got the vanilla, the sugar on there with like that's your like whipped Nutella, and there was also
Yeah.
like whipped mascarpone on there too. Man, it as like a lighter dessert afterwards when you're like, am I gonna feel way too full after this? To be able to go to that as an option was fantastic.
Yeah.
So loved the food overall. And like one thing that Sam noticed, and she's like, just like, is a let us entertain you thing. The lighting is always perfect. There's never a single light that is like way too bright at you that like disrupts you at all. Like everything is like, they've clearly got a formula and then they just plug in different themes to the formula and it just works.
Yeah, they certainly do, and you're right. Like it's all you. I think some people will like kind of roll their eyes at "Let Us Entertain You" because it is Cheney, but like it's always good.
Yes,
It's always reliable, and like sure, I can probably go to a very authentic Italian place in Little Italy or wherever in Chicago, or I can go to Maggiano's. It's gonna be a pretty comparable meal in terms of flavor and satisfaction, and like, yeah, you know, the authenticity and the small business ownership of it is important.
sure.
But the food, if we're going like food alone,
Right.
Let Us Entertain You is always whichever place it is. You know, you're
Mhm.
gonna get a good meal and a good value, and like,
Yeah.
Maggiano's has the like buy an entree and we'll give you another one for you to take home tomorrow.
Right.
It's like, Jesus, okay.
It's like being in an actual Italian kitchen.
Really, it is. So yeah, I did you I always love when you're paying for a large meal with a gift card.
Yeah.
Just like the server, like, damn it. I think they always feel like they're not going to get a quality tip that way.
Yeah, which like is unfortunate, but no, I left like a cash tip. Just so it's like, okay, we're paying for the meal with these. And mind you, they are very forward about being, hey, you can tip on the gift card.
Yeah,
I'm sure because they're worried about that. But no, we paid for the actual meal on there and then tipped in cash.
nice.
So we still had that to then be able to go over to our next spot.
yes,
Which is a spot you know well, and you warned me about.
I've only been there once, but
Mhm.
boy, oh boy, it did
Yeah.
not take much.
3 dots and a dash, 435 North Clark. Yeah, that was an experience. It's so close to Il Porcellino. It's like you go across, there's an alley that you see just a couple steps away on the other side of the street. And you go there, and then, you know, they've got everything painted on the wall in the alley, and just head in. And we had a reservation, and we go downstairs and into it, and we're like, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is cool.
If you've never been, it's almost like a speakeasy.
Yeah.
It's just a very unassuming door.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down a long staircase, and then when you get to the bottom, you walk into this beautiful tiki bar
Yeah.
that is super stylish, super cool lit, super cool decorated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. But it's like that, just going through that unassuming door, you're like, is this it?
Yeah, exactly.
like,
The only
oh my
reason we
God.
knew it was is because of the doorman.
Yeah.
Like that was the only reason
Doorman.
we knew.
Doorman. Doorman.
So we're like, okay, you know, we got to do this right. The problem is for both of us is in the past we've had run-ins with rum. So
You're in the wrong effing place then.
yeah, I know. Thankfully, I was able to find something that that was not rum based. Now, mind you, I think it's been long enough now because this was like college. So we're talking like almost 20 years. Now,
I think
mind
you're
you,
also talking a different level of rum too.
yeah, like it was, yeah, like that back in the day. I earned my weariness of yeah, like when you and one other person finish a fifth of Captain Morgan private stock
Oh.
in 20 minutes.
Oh God.
Yeah, we were sitting next to the birthday girl, and everybody was coming up to do shots, and the only shot glass that this idiot that I was sharing this fifth with had were doubles. So every time everybody was doing one, we were doing doubles.
Okay. You
And
can
I
say
was
no, Rick. You can walk away.
as a sophomore in college.
All right,
No,
fair.
you can't.
Children, just know as you make your way to college,
Right.
all you little listeners out there,
Yeah,
you can not do it.
right.
Okay.
It is
We
allowed.
didn't know. No one taught us that.
Yes. In my dad's best form of motivation, do you really want to be like me?
Exactly.
Like,
There's your
don't
deterrent.
be like me. Yeah. At the end of the night, when I was asked what I drank, I was in a state where I said Captain Morgan's Privates.
You may have and not known it.
Right? Who knows? Yeah.
It is college.
Any-
Try anything once.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, what we settled on, Sam got the Concrete Beach, which at least 3 dots and a dash is good about putting the amount of skulls next to a certain drink to know just how dangerous that thing is.
Yes.
So Sam's is the drink on the left with the big old leaf hanging out of it. That's the Concrete Beach, which is mezcal. It's got like a horchata in there, guava, pineapple, lime. Like, she thought it was awesome. And it was like one of those where it was great because we tried each other's drinks, but we each liked our own better.
Good. Is that a flame on hers, or is that like a
Yes, that's a
flower
flame.
petal?
It was just
I
like a
gonna
little
say,
sugar.
yeah.
It was a sugar cube.
Cool.
Yeah. So obviously the presentation is great. And then mine that looks like the angry snowman with the lei and the Hawaiian shirt. That one is the No Business Like Snow Business,
Nice.
which has reposado, blood orange, lemon, and mulled honey crisp apple cider.
Oh my God, that sounds awesome.
Dude, it was fantastic. Like, it was tiki-ish, but also with that like apple cider, it felt a little holiday-ish.
Yeah.
So like like the fact that we each only had one drink is probably for the best,
Yeah.
considering we did have to drive home. But man, we could have each had another one of our drinks very easily.
That was the thing is I was the driver when we went, and I had like I forget exactly what it was. It was some rum
Mhm.
thing. I was like, oh, we need to hang out here like for a while, and I will just down waters. I had mine. We stayed for like another hour and a half. It was
Okay.
totally fine. But like those rum drinks get you, and I think part of it too, at least for me, is the
Mhm.
sugar content also gets me.
I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, like having 2 of those for me would be not good. And we were there with Brian, who's a diabetic too,
Mm.
and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta find something different for the second one."
Yeah.
But I've got a picture of myself somewhere like sipping one of those tiki drinks, and I'm all red, like my cheeks are all flushed and.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's so good. And if you're like coming to town, if you're not in Chicago often, it's definitely a destination place to go.
Yes.
And I would say I've talked about a High Five Ramen
Mhm.
before on the show. It's like kind of a similar vibe where it's like just this unmarked door. You have to know where it is,
Yeah.
and you go down, and it's like this awesome place. So yeah, 3 dots and a dash is phenomenal. So go check that out if you're in town, or I mean, even if you're local. It's not a
Right.
tourist place. It's just
No.
kind of one of those hidden gems, and it's amazing.
Yeah, like the depth to all the drinks, the size of all like all the group drinks that they have too.
Oh yeah, they got like the big bowls with all the straws in them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a few different varieties of those. So yeah, if you want to get it in with a group of people, that is a fantastic option for you.
Yeah, get an Uber, get a bus, whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, you'll 3 dots and a dash, you'll get it done. I kind of wish I was able to keep the glass,
Yeah.
but I feel like that would just put them out of business. Like those things are nice and they're clearly
Yeah, they're
expensive.
sturdy.
Yeah, they're nice.
Mhm.
All right, let's hit a break. I got some good Italian food to talk about too coming up next. Do us a favor if you've not done it yet, hit the like button on the YouTube page, and make sure you're following the page as well. And if you're just catching up on the podcast, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast app and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That would be super, super helpful. I want to tell you about our friends at Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Man, they're having a social media blow up. Like all the influencers are hanging out at Fredo's, and I'm getting jealous. I got to get out there soon. Get the I'm Fat burger, the I'm Fat grilled cheese, the I'm Fat pizza, their giant mozzarella sticks. The 2-pound slice of pizza? All the time, like
a pound
slice. That's enough. 1 pound is enough.
Yes.
Just get 2. Massive. I tell the story sometimes of the people that next to us that ordered the full pizza.
Yes.
And they put it on a table and like the restaurant shook. It's like things were falling off the shelves.
Yeah.
It's just a huge pizza. It's really good. Everything at Fredo's is great. And even if you're trying to eat a little bit healthier, they've got your salads. They've got your low carb stuff. They've got you covered for whatever you're looking for at Fredo's Culinary Kitchen. So check them out. 628 South Roselle Road. Place an online order. Use the code I'm Fat and you'll save 10% every time you order at Fredo'sPizza.com. They've also got personal chef services. So if you're looking to throw a party, a reception perhaps, and you need someone to handle the food, let Fredo's take care of it for you. They do a great job. They've catered a couple parties I've gone to, and they've knocked it out of the park. So Fredo'sPizza.com. All right, so yesterday, Hope and I went out to Oak Brook. Addie got RSV over break, so we kind of were laying low, very much like after the holidays. So Hope and I were like, we haven't really had a holiday meal together, so let's get a nice lunch. So we went to Piccolo Buco, 1818 Oak Brook Center. This is a Cooper's Hawk owned establishment. So if you've ever been to a Cooper's Hawk, it's the same company. And it was lunch, but I was very hungry. I had one unsatisfying chocolatey chip pancake Pop-Tart. Those are not good.
No.
I mean, they're fine. It's a Pop-Tart, but like bottom of the rotation in terms of power rankings. Anyway, so we were both very hungry, and I'll put Hope's up here first. They got like wood-fired pizzas and Italian food. So Hope got, this is her pizza. This is the meat and cheese. It's prosciutto, stracciatella, basil, and extra virgin olive oil. Very simple. But the prosciutto was great. It was just the right amount of olive oil, and that crust was soft inside, crispy outside, without the burnt taste. Sometimes you get that burnt taste of like when they're trying to get the crust just perfect, and they'll just overdo it just a little bit. Yeah. Not the case with that. And then Rick, I got the chicken parm, which is like, I know it's the most basic order in the world.
Who cares?
But it was 2 massive chicken fillets, beautifully breaded. And they got this strip of basil on there. The stracciatella was on there too, which made it awesome. It was spaghetti alla vodka, fennel pollen, and Parmesan with the melted mozzarella. That stracciatella, that like white cream in the middle. Yeah. Just made it just complemented everything so well. It kind of made the spaghetti sauce a little creamier. It was amazing. We did not have any of their wine or drinks because it was lunchtime and I had to work at night. But a big wine menu, obviously, since it's a Cooper's Hawk joint. But I've been thinking about this chicken parm basically since I left the restaurant. Nice. Like, it was so good. And again, it's basic, but when they get it just right, there's nothing better. And I will say, like, this was so entrees, and like I had a soda and Hope had an iced tea. It was like 65 before tip. So it wasn't cheap, but the portions were huge. I mean, that was a full pizza. Hope still has half of it. Nice. And I took down the entire plate because I was just starving and it was so good, but easily could have probably saved myself about a third of that second fillet and brought some of the pasta home and been okay, but I was just starving. So yeah, it was very good. So if you want to go check that out, Piccolo Buco is 1818 Oak Brook Center Drive in Oak Brook. But tons of like those brick oven pizzas seem to be like the thing that people were getting the most. I also saw they had a meatball appetizer that was on polenta, which, oh, dude. Ooh, okay. Like, there was so much good looking stuff on there. And I said to Hope, this chicken parm is so good that every time we come here, I'm going to get it. And then the guy next to me, he had the salmon come out. Okay. So it's like a big salmon fillet on a bed of like roasted potatoes. Like, okay, well, maybe not. Maybe I will be trying something else the next time I'm here. It was good. She loved hers. I love mine. Very good. And I didn't know it's next to Putt Shack. Oh. Yeah, I think I believe it's the same building. It might be underneath Putt Shack.
Okay.
If I'm picturing it correctly, but it's right there at Oak Brook.
Mhm.
So next time you're out that way, and Sam in the chat, she likes it. So maybe you have been there. But it's awesome. And again, you mentioned like the lighting and the mood and all the stuff in there. Really well done. Not too dark, not too bright, especially at daytime.
Yeah.
You know, it was perfect. Really nice vibe, good service, friendly, attentive. I loved it. Very, very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
One other, I've got a couple kind of sports adjacent ish
Are we allowed to use that word?
things.
Is Tony gonna sue us?
No, they stopped doing the podcast, so I think we're safe.
Oh, okay, good.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl happened yesterday.
Oh, and the
And
most Mayo man in America won it.
Yeah, yes, he did. And that's why I'm happy. Even though, except I'm not happy that he won, but I am happy to see something as disgusting as mayo, especially mayo that's probably been sitting out for God knows how long, get poured over lame ass PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
Because like I know it's probably weird to some people that it's like, but he went to NIU. I'm like, it doesn't make him any less lame.
Yeah, he's still a penis.
Yes, exactly. Who needs to work on his acronyms. But seeing like I was thinking, what does that mayo smell like right now? And what is PJ Fleck gonna smell like after that?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Like, do you really want to win that bowl game?
I was
at least if someone is set up for it, at least he doesn't have hair. So like it's just kind of take a squeegee to your head and you're probably more or less fine. But yeah, just seeing that, I'm just like, ugh.
I mean,
like, do you tank that game if you're a coach?
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if I liked mayo, like I like nacho cheese, I like ketchup, I like barbecue sauce. I don't want to be covered in it. That sounds horribly unpleasant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into that. Thank you. I'd be like, you know who did a great job in this game? My offensive coordinator. By all means, he deserves all the credit for this one. That's how I would play it up. I'd just make a joke out of it and be like, you know what? This is not about me. This is about our offensive coordinator and how great of a job he did. Have a seat.
You know who should have won this bowl game while he was still coaching? Mark Mangino.
Oh, he just opened his mouth. Just
the man
the jaw.
That is the closest I've ever seen to an adult baby.
He is the closest thing I've seen to the Syracuse Orange mascot. The picture of those two together. It's my favorite. I don't know if I won't be able to find it.
It's so funny. Oh God. Yeah, that's ugh.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, ooh, I almost felt bad for PJ Fleck.
Yeah, be better. Be the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Well, by the way, the Pop-Tarts Bowl is what has inspired us to try. Like, it is absolutely working.
Yeah.
Just having the Pop-Tarts front and center, and I didn't watch a second of the game. Everything I saw was on social media.
Yep.
So that's all. They won. Whoever came up with the Pop-Tarts Bowl and the implementation, thank you, of the mascots, that person needs a raise.
And the fact that the actual trophy is a functioning toaster.
It's amazing.
Genius. Did you so I don't know if you saw it because it did hit social media, was they tried to like time up pregame talking about it with having put 2 Pop-Tarts in the trophy toaster.
Oh, I did not see that.
And they missed it, and the Pop-Tarts went flinging out and hit the ground. and the one guy called the 5-second rule and still ate some of his.
Oh, it's probably field turf anyway. You're fine.
Yeah. 5-minute rule to me.
Yes, exactly. I did not know. And the main Pop-Tart, like the Pop-Tart that was eaten, was the frosted cinnamon roll Pop-Tart.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever had this?
No.
I didn't know that existed.
I have, full disclosure, I haven't had a Pop-Tart in I don't know how long.
Well, I know you got mad at me for eating the bougie brown sugar cinnamon ones. It's still my favorite moment. You're like, ooh, Pinky's up for brown sugar cinnamon.
Right, because like growing up, that was what I thought.
They all cost the same.
Well, at that time they did. I don't know anymore.
Yes, there's no Pop-Tarts Plus or anything. Like, it's all the same. It's all the same. There's no fancier Pop-Tart than another. Oh, you eat Apple Jacks instead of Fruit Loops. Yeah, so I gotta find those.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I need to maybe I would actually have breakfast every once in a while if it was just like Pop-Tarts that I could eat on the way to work or something like that.
Find something.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, but like growing up, the most prevalent ones in the house were frosted strawberry and s'more.
I mean, those are two of the goats.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with those. Hope's like, I was at the store and they had unfrosted strawberry. I'm like,
yeah,
unfrosted Pop-Tart.
Yeah, we never did the unfrosted Pop-Tart thing.
No, that's like a salad.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
it's a fruit salad.
Right. We're not having that. That's not going to happen. But I gotta try the cinnamon roll ones. They look awesome. I love the brown sugar cinnamon, strawberry frosted, blueberry frosted. I'm in. S'mores, obviously.
Yeah.
I just said, but the chocolatey chip pancake ones we had this week, there just wasn't much going on there. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It just was kind of, there's nothing memorable about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I wouldn't say if you get them like, ugh, like they're fine, but they're just, in terms of Pop-Tart power rankings, they're towards the bottom for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The funny thing is now, like brown sugar cinnamon is one of my favorites.
See? Well, you're fancy now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sam does for you. She
Right.
ups your Pop-Tart game.
Yes.
By the way, speaking of sports adjacent, I should congratulate the Northern Illinois Huskies for being the best team in the SEC.
Yeah. Woo.
They beat Notre Dame, who beat the SEC champion, ergo NIU SEC champions.
Hey, I believe NIU is the only school to be undefeated against Alabama and Notre Dame.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
what? How do they do that though, and then not like just crush everybody else they play? I don't get that.
That's the thing. Their style of play keeps every game close.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, they were
the
very
margins
frustrating.
the margins are very small in any game. And when your quarterback sucks, it makes it a lot worse. Like, it's rare that someone will transfer out of a school to go somewhere else to be the backup. That's what NIU's quarterback did. He transferred to Illinois to be the backup.
Good thinking.
Yes. Because, I mean, I understand like they're overhauling their offensive staff because they kind of have to, because even though apparently they have some of the most, like, I love like the hardcore, like X's and O's guys that'll watch college football, or like NIU has some of the most fun, diverse run stuff in the country. And that's part of what makes them so infuriating, is they can run so many different types of things.
Yes.
But their pass game, it's almost like the Greg Roman stuff in the NFL, where it's like, but their pass game is drawn with a crayon.
Yeah.
Like it's that equivalent. So yeah, that's the rough part of it. But yeah, to like be just a 500 ass team. It's annoying.
And Herb is in the chat saying, hey, stop talking about Illinois' Ethan Hampton like that.
Yes. You know what? Hey, Illinois, have fun. I understand he'll be mostly holding a clipboard, and he made literally just enough plays against Notre Dame to get that job done. But the big completion was to the tight end, who is actually really good, and he made some acrobatic catches. Ethan Hampton, not good. Like, this is the story of NIU. They can recruit almost anything outside of a quarterback. The only time they had mildly relevant quarterback play was Chandler Harnish and Jordan Lynch, and Lynch especially was only college relevant. And look what they were able to do in that time frame. That's when they had their best run of success.
With Herb's in here, he might remember. What was the horrible take about Jordan Lynch we heard on the score?
Oh, that he's a LeBron type athlete.
Yes.
Jordan Lynch, LeBron type athlete.
100%. 100%. That was from a caller, I think.
Yes, it was.
Because
that was to the show we were working.
Yeah.
And I remember
the Jordan Lynch calls were a lot for a while.
Yes, they were. I remember my reaction is like, because you were just like frustrated, and then when you were done with the guy, you were just laughing, and you told me, and my literal reaction was like, get the fuck out of here. Like that was my thought at the time, because it's just, as a guy who emotionally benefited from Jordan Lynch being really good,
Yes.
one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's not a good thought. Congrats on your bad thought. But you talk about quarterbacks just doing enough. That's Riley Leonard, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how he is so effective running. Like, he just puts his hand on the back of the offensive line, like finds his hole, he's gone, but he runs really upright.
Yes, he
kind of
does.
like twinkle toesy, like on the front of his feet, which is fine. And he's just elusive. I don't know. He's a baller. Like he drove me nuts early in the season, and then kind of figured things out. And then when they started just beating the crap out of everybody they played after the Northern Illinois loss, but
you're welcome.
To beat Georgia by 2 scores. And
you know what I want?
10 points. And I know it's a backup quarterback, but
sure,
man, the Irish look good. And I don't know a lot about Penn State, but I know it's another really good defense.
And I know I'm rooting against them. That's for sure.
It's gonna be like a 6-3 final score, probably.
Probably. I would love to know, because remember after that Northern game, Hammock called up Freeman and was like, "Hey, let me tell you some of the things that we were able to, like what we saw and how we worked into it."
Well, that's very kind. I think what happened was he saw a Notre Dame team that was expecting to win by 50. And then by the time they realized, oh, this is another football game that we need to be focused on, it was too late.
Yeah.
But you mentioned like Northern. Sorry about the sports aside, Fats. We'll get back to food and stuff. As a Notre Dame fan, that's why I always get itchy when the service academies come up. Because they're just annoying, and they will run the ball the entire game and just wear your ass out. And if you're not 100% ready to go, or your offense is struggling, they can sneak up usually by the end of it, like Notre Dame wins by 3 scores. It just doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Because it's such an aggravating game to watch. But that's like those Army Navies, and like when you think about the glory days of Nebraska running the triple option.
Yep.
They just wear your ass out. The defense is on their heels the whole game, and that's how it felt with Northern. And Notre Dame's defense is top notch. They held Georgia to 10 points. Like that's legit, and caused a bunch of turnovers, and that was really annoying. Okay, we're gonna get to your. We got a bunch of questions, by the way. We're gonna get to them during Ask a Fat, because we only have one voicemail this week. So we're gonna get, if you've got questions for us, stick around. And we're going to get to them in the Ask a Fat segment, and I'm going to star some of these as well. All right, so we went to last week. What day was it? Doesn't matter. We went to see Les Mis. Hope won the lottery that you can enter. And every day, like the day before, they'll say, "You've been chosen. You can buy tickets for." We got like 2 tickets.
Oh, not the 1.4 billion or whatever it was.
Not that lottery, no.
Oh, okay.
She won the lottery to buy tickets. You win the opportunity to give us money.
Yeah.
So we went, and I have never seen Les Mis, and I was very excited about it. I will say I loved it. It was great. It was sad and violent and all the stuff I love. It was great. It was really, really good. I think it's done, or it's maybe done this weekend. It was a very short run.
Okay.
But if this touring company ever comes back, make a point of seeing it. But we had a little bit of time for food, so we went to the Global McDonald's on Randolph, 1035 West Randolph. It's like it's like the ground floor of the McDonald's Corporation building.
Yeah.
And they've got your typical menu, but they also have like global treats from around the world. So we tried a couple things. First, we got the black pepper garlic chicken nuggets, and I mean, here's a picture. They look like chicken McNuggets.
Yeah.
But in terms of the flavor, and these were marked as from Canada. Which I thought was interesting. But very, very peppery, very, very garlicky. They were good. Just like they weren't like, oh yeah, I can sort of taste a little bit of black pepper, garlic, and everything. No, it was legit. And then the other thing we got was the ramen shaker fries. So you get a bag of fries, as you can see Hope holding up there, and then a little packet of ramen seasoning. And then you sprinkle that ramen seasoning into the bag, and then you shake the bag up, and you've got ramen fries. So there's nothing like special about it. It's just if you were to take ramen seasoning at home and pour them on fries, it was really good. Salty, like that umami flavor that everyone seeks all the time.
Yeah.
Really good. So it was an interesting thing. The black pepper nuggets were really good, really different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think McDonald's has done a decent job when they flavor, like when they got the spicy chicken McNuggets and these, they do a pretty good job of adapting the flavor. It's not just like oh yeah, I kind of see it a little bit. Like, no, it was actually pretty legit. So
Yeah.
if you're ever near the Global McDonald's, it changes all the time. I think it changes every month. So go in there and see what they've got. There's always, and if it's nothing that you really care about or want to try, they've still got your typical menu of, of McDonald's standards.
Sure.
So, yeah, good stuff.
All right. Mentioning big time fast food,
Yes.
I have a gripe to pick with one of McDonald's competitors,
Yes.
Burger King, who I
Okay.
generally advocate for more than most. The commercials, I think, are part of what's kept Burger King alive and relevant overall.
Yeah, maybe.
But this new Burger King Melts commercial
Yeah.
is horrific. It is awful. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to do the song, you're going to do the jingle that you always do. Have words for the syllables. Don't just act like you're having a stroke while saying melts.
BK Melts.
Melts. Yeah. No, that's bad. Like, I don't like it. Just no. Like, that shouldn't be. Like, you can't just, like, I know there's a couple different varieties, but it's like throw in there like throw in bacon. It's like BK, BK bacon melts. Like something, like cut something to cut it
Find
a little
something.
bit.
Yes.
Like, it sounds like something skipped. That's what it sounds like. For those that remember skipping in terms of music, that's what it sounds like happens. It sounds
Yeah.
like trash. And I want to know just how much they were at the, like, I imagine the exec that, like, the table on this was like an Elf, or Walter Hobbs is just like, I don't know, we just need something. And they're like, okay, but how about this? We just repeat the meh a lot. And he's like, yeah, good, let's run with it.
Done. Sign off on it. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's what it feels like to me.
I
He
wonder if
gave
they were
up Burger King.
Yeah. I wonder if they were thinking that it would be funny, that people would think it was funny. But every
No.
time I hear it, it's like cringe. It's like, ooh, it's very.
Yeah.
And I like that ad campaign. It's funny,
Mm-hmm.
like as a whole. But that one, just the BK Melts one, is
It's
annoying.
really bad.
It's grating. So, all right. Well, you know what's
Be
not
better.
grating? Transition time. The great service from our friends at Mazda of Orland Park.
True.
Check them out on 159th Street there in Orland Park. Get yourself a new Mazda. Test drive a new Mazda. It's the place to do it because they're not going to annoy you. They're not going to be up your butt when you're trying to look at cars. They're just going to say, do you need help? No, I'm good for now. Okay, when you need help, come find me. Then you're going to buy your Mazda. You're going to love your Mazda, and you're going to service your Mazda at Mazda of Orland Park because they do a great job. They're upfront. They're honest. They tell you everything they're doing. They send you a video of the repair process, what they found, what they recommend, what each thing will cost, and you literally get a menu, like a itemized menu of services, and check. Not this time. Please complete the service. Boom, boom, boom. You get your total. You hit send. You're just sitting right there in a waiting room. You don't even have to talk to anybody, and they start the work, and they're done lickety split, and you're out of there. It's great service. They do a great job, and again, they don't pressure you in anything you don't need, be it service wise or buying a car wise. So go check them out. MazdaofOrlandoPark.com is the website. I wanted to share a story from last week. I didn't get to it on our last show.
Okay.
But I was on my way into work the other day. It had been kind of a stressful week, busy week, and I just happened to be leaving my parents' house, and I had to make an errand on 95th Street. So I'm like, I am about 15 minutes from Los Angeles. So
you go.
what I did was call their number,
Mhm.
422-2041, which I memorized. And I said, I will have a small sausage pizza to go, please. And pulled up, went pick it up, and I said, I also need a to-go box. They're like, for what? I'm like, I just need the box. So got in the car, tore open the pizza,
Mhm.
ate a couple edge pieces. Then I pulled into a parking lot nearby because I needed a little more focus because it was getting a
Sure.
little messy because I was getting inside. Took about half the small pizza, put the other half in the box, took that to work. Intermission treat. car pizza is difficult,
It is.
but it's also usually worth it.
Absolutely.
It was amazing.
Yeah, especially when it's a place like Los Angeles and it's the bag. That adds a whole nother level of issue to it.
Yeah.
So like if you have the box, you can more or less make it work as long as you don't have to stop quickly.
Well, I think I've talked about that childhood trauma before, where I had the pizza on my lap and I had the folded bag facing out, so my dad had to slam on the brakes and the entire pizza flew out. I'll never forget that.
That really is like a sitcom bit.
Oh, yeah, but I think about, you could ask Hope, anytime I put a pizza on a car seat, the folded bag is towards this back of the seat, so that doesn't happen. It's a lesson learned. It's like when the other thing too is, remember when you were a kid and like in school they teach you at-home safety?
Yeah.
And it was, if you put a pot on the stove, the handle has to be back towards the wall. I do that every time. For whatever reason, whatever graphic image they showed of a burnt child, like burned into my brain, and I will never forget to do that. To this day, I do it that way.
Yeah, don't need the Arrested Development to always leave a note.
Right. I don't need the trauma tied to it. The pizza trauma was enough.
Yes.
There were no victims in that aside from me and my dad. My dad, I'd never seen my dad so heartbroken. He's like, well, we could salvage some of it. I'm like, yeah, we're getting off his car floor. It was like,
yeah,
it's gone. I ruined it. It's my fault. Anyway, so yeah, get yourself a car pizza. Highly recommend it.
I have one more like smaller thing that's more just I assume everybody to a point is in this boat at this time of year. You go most of the year, probably like, boy, I could really use some form of chocolate for like a dessert or a late night snack or whatever it ends up being.
Every day of my life.
And then the holidays come around and you have all the chocolate around the house. And the part of my question is like the decisions of like, which one do you go with when you have like 3 slightly different varieties of the same type of, like chocolate variety box that you get?
Sure.
But also when you have a taste for something else, like how much are you willing to stray away from that chocolate and what you got from the holidays before it's gone?
Well, I gotta say, this year we went way more gummy penny candy than chocolate for whatever reason, and I've been kind of craving chocolate. Like, we don't have any chocolate here. But yeah, I mean, when you've got a lot of something, you're usually kind of chasing the other thing, right? So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I got room in my heart for all sweets.
Yes.
Give me sour, give me fruity, give me that which I desire. Whatever. I'm into it. But yeah, I will adapt as needed based on availability.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're just like, man, I really want the one thing I don't have, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to remind you about a fat trader.
Yes. Well, we got to do one more read before we do that.
Okay.
Nick and Ivy Brewing, our favorite place in beautiful downtown Lockport. Go get some great craft beer from great people. Love them. Paul and Chrissy and everybody out there are outstanding people, located at 1026 South State Street. The best place to follow them is their Facebook. It is constantly updated. Facebook.com/Nick and Ivy Brewing. Every Monday they put up their weekly schedule, but their vanilla cream ale is back. They just put this out an hour ago. They're open from 11 to 11 today. Available in 4-packs. It's slightly sweet, creamy, crushable, and refreshing. 1853 is the date of our amazing hometown Lockport, and these cream ales are outstanding. I've had one of these. I know you've had the vanilla cream ale too. Go get that. They've always got great stuff going on. They've got the new Smash Pale Ale as well. Always new inventions, always great creations. Go check them out. Nick and Ivy Brewing in downtown Lockport. So ahead of the Winter Classic, I went on the score with Layla and Lawrence. They were at Trace. I think it was called Trace. It's one of those like anonymous Clark Street bars in Wrigleyville. You've got your flagships, like you got your Yaxis and your G-Man and your Cubby Bear and the ones that never change. And then you've got the ever-rotating others. And this is one of those. Rick, I think you're muted, by the way.
Of course I am.
There you go. I unmuted you. So go in there, and there's Mitch. I give Layla a hug, and I feel a tapping on my butt. And I'm like, well, that's Mitch.
Yeah.
So Layla's like, you didn't even react to that. I go, no, I just knew. I knew who it was. And it's fine. You know, consensual, fine. But I turn around, and he is like, Mitch is melting away.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And so it was at a point where I saw Mitch, talked to Mitch, you know, Ashley was there, just talking to all the old score people, Ray Diaz, everybody's there hanging out.
Yep.
So before my segment, I go to the bathroom and I'm like walking back. I'm like sort of distracted, like looking at my phone. And like Mitch is walking towards me. And I'd already seen him. And it still did not compute to me that was Mitch. Because he's lost so much weight. And then Ben Rosen was right behind him. Another traitor to the cause.
Really?
Oh yeah, Ben's lean and mean. Very underdressed for the Winter Classic though. Like, you're gonna be warm enough? He's like, I don't think I'm gonna be. He had like a t-shirt and a windbreaker. I'm like, you're screwed, buddy.
Yeah.
You're gonna be really, really cold. But yeah, it was good to see them. And yeah, Mitch is he's wearing clothes that clearly fit him before, but now he's kind of swimming in. But yeah, he looked good. Everybody looks good. You know, Ben looked good. He's working at Marquee. So yeah, like doing sales. I had a little shot at Mitch because I'm like, oh, you opted for the money over the experience, you know. And Ben's like, yeah, you know, want to make some money. I'm like, yeah, I learned that eventually.
Yeah. Fair.
So, yeah. No, but it was good to see him. It's always good to see the score people. Like, I think people always expect maybe you and I to be like, screw the score. Like,
Yeah.
No, not really. There's some people there, maybe.
To a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, I don't root for our friends to do poorly or anything of the sort.
What a concept, Shane.
Yeah.
What? Did I say the quiet part out loud?
What? Maybe.
No, me and him have talked about that, and he is admitted and changed. So, which is all you can ask for.
Yes.
All right, should we ask the Fats?
Let's do it.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fats brought to you by Charlie the Bacon Guy, and here he is with this week's Bacon Report, and he says there's a special guest.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have Canadian bacon, jalapeno garlic, applewood smoked bacon, and jardinera. By midweek, we will have chorizo, Nashville hot, buffalo, and Cajun bacon available. For bacon jams, we have the original, the bourbon, mango habanero, and an apple butter. Don't forget about your promo code of I'm Fat for 10% off your orders. And keep an eye out for some secret release pig items from Charlie the Bacon Guy.
For the Bacon Report, I'm Sydney the Bacon Girl.
That's amazing. So now you have to order for Sydney. CharlieTheBaconGuy.com. Get all the stuff there. I'm very interested in the secret pig items, whatever that means. But I'm down. CharlieTheBaconGuy.com. And again, he wants everyone to know when you add bacon to your cart, from there you can go into the cart and you can change how many pounds you want to order up or down. It defaults to 3, but once it's in your cart, go to your cart and you can change it however you need to change it. So get those bacons in. They're all really, really good. The bacon jam is amazing. You can't go wrong. CharlieTheBaconGuy.com. All right, we have one voicemail today, so let's get to it. If you want to leave us a message, 708-858-3314.
Hey, Fats, just sitting here waiting at the drive-thru at Long John Silver's. I'm here because of your previous show talking about Jay eating at Long John Silver's. I dropped my wife and my son across the street at Culver's on our way back to Chicago from Michigan. I come over to Long John Silver's by myself and just eat it because it's, embarrassing for anyone to see you eat Long John Silver's. And I eat the chicken planks, 4 chicken planks, double waffle fries, hush puppies, large Pepsi, while my wife and 8-year-old son are across the street eating like fish and chips and broccoli at Culver's. Anyway, question for you. What do you hide from your family? Like I hide they know I'm here, but I hide how I eat it. Is there anything that you do that Hope and Addie or Sam know about, but don't really know about. Anyway, Long John Silver's Kyle signing out. Keep up the great work, boys.
All right.
So
Good
this kind of goes back to OG days of the podcast a little bit.
Yes,
in
it
terms,
does.
like, I don't really hide anything. I don't really hide anything food wise anymore. But like back in the day,
Oh yeah,
it's always some of the early podcast day, and maybe sometimes it's like we need to catch ourselves and maybe revisit some of these older points because I don't even know if you can get to the oldest episodes of the podcast anymore.
yeah. I think you can.
Okay.
But
But
don't expect everyone to listen to all 270.
well, exactly. One thing when I was living in Geneva, I knew my spots. I knew where accessible dumpsters were. I knew what places had the had garbage cans that were easy to get to be able to get rid of evidence. I mean, you have to know your area. You have to know your home turf. So if you're going to one place or you're doing the piecemeal, a combo meal together with this from this place and this from this place and this from this place, you can get rid of all the bag evidence.
Yeah, that's we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
I still do it from time to time. But I've been better about it.
Yeah.
More honest about it. I've also been less awful about eating that way. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I will not usually bring Long John Silver's home. I still do have some shame about that because it is so unhealthy. Is it actually much worse than anywhere else? I don't know. It just feels like it.
It just feels that way.
Because it's so breaded.
Yeah.
So I will usually not flaunt the fact that I've had that, before. So
fair.
But yes, back in the day, know all the cans, know the drive-throughs, know the places you can drive by and throw a bag in. You don't even have to get out and stop. But yeah, there's been a lot of throw the food out before you get home situations in my life. 100%.
Top off gas, just so you can throw the stuff away in the garbage right there.
Exactly. Yep. Been there. That's for sure. All right. We're going to get to some Ask a Fats through the chat. So if you got a couple, throw them in before we wrap things up.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
Our buddy Jason from Oshkosh has two, actually. He says, do we know if Jay was skating at the Winter Classic or not? Next time you're worried about being on camera, doing something embarrassing, just make some dong reference and you can be bigger than Hawk Tua. Oh, there you go. I did not skate. I mentioned on the episode that skate rentals weren't available, so I would have had to find. Yes, I did. And I was just not able to find skates in time to do it. So I would have, I was there and it's like, if the opportunity presents, I will do it. And I would have been glad I did because everybody was out there kind of struggling and it was fine. And guess who else looked like crap on United Center Ice or Wrigley Field Ice? The Blackhawks.
Yeah.
So as bad as I am, I might have helped during the game. So I definitely would have done it. I probably should have tried a little harder to get skates for it. But also like logistically, I was doing a lot of writing. Like I had a lot of work to do that night too. So that was part of it. So next time, if the opportunity presents, I will do it.
Yeah.
Is my dog in here? The door keeps opening behind me.
I was going to say, am I hearing a dryer?
Yes.
Nice.
You're hearing a dryer. I had the door shut. Then someone came down.
Yeah.
I'm going to go shut the door.
Okay.
Fill time.
Yes. I wish Jay had been able to find skates to wear because we would have needed an informant. I would have had to reach out to someone on the Blackhawks beat to be like, hey, if you can just sneak me a video of Jay skating.
You're an idiot.
That would have been great. I mean, I know it's been years since I've had to contact anybody, but I think I could reach out to at least a couple people that would have likely been there to be like, hey, just sneak me a video of Jay skating.
There would have been, I mean, our social media director was there, so I would have been filmed anyway.
Okay.
So I'm fine. I can get around. I can get around. I just, for me, it was more of the like, can I criticize players when I can't do it myself? But of course I can.
Yes.
Kiss my ass. Jason also says, ask a fat, name one fat head coaching candidate for the Bears.
There really aren't many anymore, are there?
No.
Like everybody.
Vrabel's not fat at all. He's just big.
Yeah. He's not fat. A lot of these coordinators that we're talking about are like these like skinny white dudes in their 30s. Like
Is
Ben
there a
Johnson
Ryan available?
Yeah, right. Apparently he might be interviewing with the Jets.
Fat football coaches.
Mark Mangino, Andy Reid. Let's see.
Dennis
Green.
This is written in 2009. This could never be written now.
No.
Yeah, Mark Mangino is huge. Ralph Friedgen.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Weiss.
Yep.
Philip Fulmer. Andy Reid. Dennis Green. Romeo Cornell. Tom Cable. Remember Tom Cable?
Tom Cable,
Wade Phillips. Bill Parcells. No longer fat. Rex Ryan. Not really fat anymore. Yeah, there's just not a lot of fat candidates.
No, it's disappointing.
It's shameful is what it is. It's erasure. That's what it is. And then our buddy Rush Schneider chimes in and says Layla Rahimi says it's unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tarts are the best. This is her worst take. There's no question about that. I might have to text her about that one.
Yeah, that's it's a rough look.
No. Just say I prefer not to have the super sugary one, so I'll eat the unfrosted.
Yes.
Don't tell me they're the best.
Correct.
They're not the best. They're certainly not the best. They're best for your purposes,
Mm-hmm.
but in no world are they the best.
No.
All right. That's a good note to end it. I hit the wrong button.
Oh. All right.
I don't think it showed up, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Play it cool. Pretend like I did the right thing.
Okay. Well, follow us on all of our social media at I'mFatPod, I'mFatPod@gmail.com. Check out Spotify. If you like, I'mFatMerch.com. Check out all of our stuff that we have there. Get our merch. Or if you don't want our merch, still use our link to go search TeePublic, and whatever you get, we get a little bit of a kickback there. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast. Like each video, subscribe, all that stuff. Even if you watched us live later in the week, throw us on a tab you're not going to pay attention to, mute it, give us the old hours viewed. That helps us out a ton. And then you can subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to the regular podcast feed. Leave the old 5-star rating and review, and check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda Foreland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. So, for Jay, I'm Rick. Hi to Charlotte and Amelia. And this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
I hope you have a fantastic day.